Hi, I finished my third sketchbook as I go through university now. You can stay around to learn how I, Sofie, a busy university student of art education and pedagogy, start their sketchbook, my mindset, and why I don't decorate the cover first. There are timestamps below if you want. For the fourth time in a row, I am using a Hahnemühle D&S sketchbook, which has 80 sheets of paper or 160 pages of 140 GSM paper, slightly off-white. Although it's made for drawing, I've been using it for everything: painting, collage, mixed media, and it holds. Why don't decorate the sketchbook cover right away? I have 4 personal reasons. Number 1, when the cover is decorated right away, it can draw attention to you and your sketchbook, and so your art, which not everyone is comfortable with, especially if you carry it around like I do, and I would advise anyone to carry sketchbook around. So this reduces the chance of, let's say, confrontation or just other people's other interactions that you might not want to have. Number 2, trying to make a cover perfect from start can steal your creative spark. Sometimes it drains your energy before you even draw the first page. Sometimes you see these beautiful sketchbook covers, to be precise, and they are beautiful. The aesthetic is so outstanding, and you want to copy it sometimes, or just make something that you will like it as much as you like these YouTube videos. If you do the cover too perfect, or you try to make it too perfect, you can easily burn out and just lose the creative flow and not even start a sketchbook. Or as number 3, if you make the cover too perfect, you might not like what you make inside. Or in my case, if I make the cover too perfect, I might not like anything I make inside, or just get stuck with the cover, and that sucks. So I don't do that to prevent it. Number 4, when you wait, at least for me, and decorate the cover later, I felt always more grounded in the style I was using at the time, and the themes inside inspired me more to decorate my cover. So the cover became like a reflection of the journey and not some kind of pressure to just make it beautiful. For my first university sketchbook, I actually decorated the cover week before I finished it. So I had it blank for 7 to 8 months. Just blank, and nothing on it. I started a little ritual for a first spread: an illustration on the left page and a quote on the right. They don't have to be connected. Sometimes I return to them when I need a spark of inspiration or encouragement. The quotes are often something I've written myself, or from a book, or things others told me about myself. So I first started with the illustration. I knew I wanted to do collage, but just in case the collage wouldn't cover the full page, I prepared the page itself with acrylic gesso and added a base layer that helps the paint stick and protects the paper. I began with dusty rose pink with background. Then I changed my mind, tried a gradient, and then I realized I liked the original rose pink more. I didn't plan much when I work on the first spread. It's more about feeling the process, enjoying it. I reach into my big stash of magazine cutouts, pictures, words, quotes I've collected over the years, and pulled out things that resonated with me, what I like dinosaurs. I grabbed a picture of dinosaurs because I kind of fell in love with them, and again, somehow I've circled back to them after loving them as a child. I didn't have a strict theme, I just wanted to reflect myself into that page. And I understood from the start that I might not use everything I picked, and that's okay. Also, I included real lace that I got from my grandma. She doesn't need it anymore and gave it to me to use in my art. When the paint was dry, I tested different compositions, moving things around, layering them, following little ideas that came up. I passed the camera to look back at the footage and made screenshots of the different variations. Then I asked myself which one pulls my eye the most or catches my eye the most, and what feels right, what I like the most. So I had a few favorites, but this one I picked. I started to glue everything in layers, sometimes using a glue stick, sometimes a glue roller, or just liquid glue, especially for the lace, which really tested my patience. It just wouldn't stick and it still moved, and it wasn't really straight. So the lace was hard, but it worked. When I collage, I usually glue small parts together first before placing them down. It gives me more freedom to play with the layout, and in case I change my mind, I can just change even the composition. Once it was all glued down and drying, I trimmed the lace edges, but let some of them stick from the cover and the book itself on purpose. I really liked it. It was just something I wasn't planning on to do. Then I started working on the quote and wanted to carve into linoleum. It was from a dream I had maybe a week or two ago. In that dream, I was on a subway or maybe some kind of train, just transportation, and I was trying to read this quote. It looked like it was on some paper, and it kept just blurring out in and out. In the dream, I was trying to remember the quote, but it wasn't a lucid dream, and the quote was, "There is an open fire in your heart," and that stayed with me, and I kept thinking of it over and over again. So yeah, I chose it. I began thinking about the carving process. They need to be mirrored to be printed correctly. I decided to create each letter as a separate stamp and transfer them onto soft cut linoleum blocks using transfer paper. I use a soft cut linoleum because it's easier on my hands. And safety tip, always carve away from yourself. It's not fun when the tool slips. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. It hurts. I hate carving the letter S. It's the first letter of my name and somehow it's always a disaster. This time was no different. I mean, look at it. It's got personality, let's say that. It's fancy. I used water-based paint and roller to ink the letters, but then I realized I forgot to carve the letter F, and the whole quote was too big to fit on the page. Almost. I tried to again roll some paint on it, but the original paint didn't work. Like everything that could go wrong went wrong, so I switched to white acrylic, which honestly I don't recommend. It just don't have the same, I don't know, it just didn't work at all. If you've seen my other video, The Little Things and Art of May 2025, you know I love Linocut, but this time it didn't work. It didn't cooperate. There are two things that I remind myself when that happens, when the things go south. 1, it happens. 2, if it gets physically frustrated, I stop. Yes, I would stop. Even if I was in the middle of a big piece, because I would rather pause and wait for another day and come back to it than burn out and get too angry to create again. Eventually, I hand colored the letters with a brush so they would be readable. And then finally, I was done. Here's my first page, my first full spread, and honestly, I love it. It's not what I expected. Not everything went smoothly. It took me 2 days to finish, but it was mostly calm, slow work. And that's exactly what I wanted. That's the whole point. I know that every time I open this sketchbook, I will be greeted by something I want to return to. The beginning I feel proud of and I just love and adore. But now, what do I draw next? What do I draw inside? Well, if you made it this far, I'm joining something called Butterflies Half an Hour. In Czech, Motýlí půlhodinka. It's a national butterfly count that runs every summer, or like this is like the second summer they are doing it in Czechia or Czech Republic. You spend 30 minutes outside counting butterflies you can spot and then send the results to a national organization. It helps track how species are growing or declining and where they are showing up. And I will be drawing every species I see. So stay tuned for next Monday's video. Draw with me, illustrating Czech butterflies. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.